What's going on, guys? I am here at the range again with a pretty cool rifle scope. Here it is, the OneLeaf.ai Commander NV400. Alright, so here it is. It is the OneLeaf.ai Commander NV400. Now, if you follow me for a long time, a couple years ago, I reviewed something else from this company. It was the NV100. It was a clip-on scope. It would attach to the back of your rifle scope. Had some attachments. It was just almost like a handheld, but it attached to your scope. But you could use it as a handheld if you wanted to. Day, night, I did a video shooting with that thing, but it had its limitations for me. I couldn't get it to focus on the reticle and shooting in the daytime. So I ultimately stopped using it because it was really only good for me for nighttime, and I don't do a lot of nighttime shooting. They reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to try the 400? And I said, sure. So I'm going to go over the features and the specs of this thing, do some shooting with it, and just give you my impressions of, if this is something you would use and it would be something, fun and worth your money. All right, so some of the features on this thing that are pretty cool, probably not unlike other day-night scopes you've used. Multiple profiles. This one has 6 profiles you can use to save your different distances at. 5, 6, 7 different reticles. 5 different colors to choose from those reticles. You can set it up as a first focal plane or a second focal plane, so that's pretty cool to whatever your liking is, your preference. You can change that. It has the one-shot zero, so how you're going to sight this in, you're going to take a shot and you're going to go into a mode and move the reticles to your point of impact, save it, and that would be your profile. It's pretty simple. You can take photos while recording. It is IP67 rated, and you can also do picture-in-picture stuff. That's not something I've used. This comes with a pretty decent booklet user manual, but I found going through it, it's an easy read. It gives you a lot of photos on what it should look like and how to use and all the different things. So it was really helpful getting, working around and figuring out how these things operate and, what settings you're really going to use more often than some of the others. But it's been pretty cool so far. I'll say what I like about it is it's big. It looks really cool on the gun, so it just looks really tactical. It looks like I got a lot of stuff going on, and because this is on my 22, my Ruger 22 Precision, since I've tricked it out, it really kind of adds to just the look, and it just looks like a really, really serious rifle, even though this is just like a plinking for fun rifle. So I dig that about it. I'm going to go over the features of that, and we're going to get some close-ups and everything, but let's take some shots quick. This is 100 yards. I'm sighted in at 25. Let's see where it's at 100 and see if I can, do any holds or save another profile or whatever it is. But let's just go through it. There's not going to be a whole lot to show in this video as far as the menus and different things, because you can't record that while you're in the different menus. But trust me when I say it's easy to navigate. A lot of different, personalization settings you could do for your application. So it also has a removable sunshade, so when it's really bright outside you're supposed to put that on, and this would be like a lower light setting, and then when you're all the way nighttime shooting, you pop that open to gather as much light as you can. Pop that open, then you're using your IR illuminator. IR illuminator I have set up as far forward as I could, so I maybe wouldn't get any weird IR shadow from the scope. You can adjust this with the screw here to bring this forward or back if you wanted it to, but I just put it as far forward as I can to eliminate that possibility. You can adjust the flood tighter or more wide, and it has 3 power settings. There's 3 lights there to let you know what level you're on with a clicky button in the back, on low, medium, or high for the illuminator. Now, I don't really need my dope card on this so much, but I did want to show that there are Picatinny mounts on this thing for you to add other things to it if you wanted to. So I added this on. I would never use it. I'm saying it works. It's there if you want it to be, or something else. It could be whatever else, but that's just what I put on there for now. I'll end up taking that off. So inside the box is all the extra stuff, the manual, the white cloth. You get the charging cord, the USB cord to plug in, upload your footage, an extra longer iCup, charger, the battery, 18650 that you need, that comes with. This is an extended cap for the battery. If you want it a little taller, just your eyepiece cover and HDMI cord. So it has a lot of stuff extra in the box. So it really is a whole full kit. Alright guys, so here's what it looks like at 100 yards with the reticle I've chosen. Not sure how much you're going to see on the screen. It's probably not a lot, but I got a lot of different things it's telling me here. Battery life, memory card life, what setting I'm on, which would be the #1 setting, which is where I sighted in for 25. My angle, like my pitch and my roll, my height, up and down, what degrees I'm at, so that can be helpful. Now, this is at no magnification, so this is just ×1. Going in now, this is at ×6, ×7. This is ×7 at 100 yards, ×8 at 100 yards, ×9. Now let me try to focus this in a little bit, see if you can get a little clearer. Okay, try to go in now. I'll give you all the way zoom. This is 10, that's 11, 12, 13. So we're at full max 13 times digital zoom. Try to gotta make it a little blurry. Probably about as crisp as I can get it at 100. Now it's bright out here. I got a lot of sun on the target, so it's giving me a little wash. I got my sunshade on, which is what's recommended in the daytime mode, just so you don't get the glare and things on on the screen here, because this is all digital. There's no pass-through. There's no regular scope. This is a completely digital operation here. Let's go back. Now I'm on ×11. I'm hitting low. Kind of hard to tell. See if I can zoom in, see if I can see it, but with the glare on the target down there, I can't quite see where I'm hitting. It looks like the rangefinder is accurate to what my handheld says, 102 yards. That's exactly what the other one said. So the rangefinder is accurate, so that's good to know. Let's see if I can hit. Now this is again on a 25-yard profile. I got a piece of clay pigeon hung right there. See if I can operate the hold. Got it. There we go. 3 hashes down. It's right there. Got it. Alright, so I went in and tried to sight her in for 100. And it gives you a couple crosshairs, a red and a white. The white is you're supposed to hold at your point of aim, and you move the red to your point of impact. So that's what I did roughly. See if I got it any closer. So I should be, theoretically, closer to the actual bullseye, or the center of the crosshair. Shoulder shot. So let's go in and try to, I'm going to bring it down a little bit more. It's pretty close. Alright, here we are at a wide open field. Now, I got an overcast night, but you can still see, now this is just in night mode, IR is not on. You can see what this looks like. This is just that regular one-time zoom. I'm going to zoom in. 5-time zoom. It's real grainy, okay? So that's 6, 7, real grainy, alright? Now the rangefinder says that that big tree in the distance is, let me tell you, that says 137 yards to that tree. Now I don't know if you can see on the screen what I'm seeing. Got the crosshairs. There's a little yellow square with a circle, which is telling me where the rangefinder is hitting, and there's a flashing light. That flashing light, if you can see that, that's where the rangefinder is catching. Let's move around. I'll come back out to one-time zoom. Out there, it says 156 yards. Some light pollution there, guys. Sorry, I'm at a park. The scope is not attached to the gun. It's just off by itself. That tree out there says 130 yards. That says 200 yards. 150, now it says 157 yards. Tree says 162 yards. That says 171 yards. I'm going to turn this illuminator on, IR illuminator, and let's see how much brighter, how much difference it makes. All right. Okay. That is on low power illuminator. The illuminator, you can adjust the distance. So now that is supposed to be set for far away, so you can see it brings it into a more focused area. Now I can flood it out. You can see it's coming back. This is all the way flooded. One-time zoom. It's actually pretty bright. It's a really nice setup here. So that's off. That's 1. That's off. That's 2. That's off. That's 3. Let's zoom in now at that tree again where it was grainy the last time. Let's see how much better it looks. Alright, so that's 7-time zoom. That's 9-time zoom. Okay, so clearly that tree is a little too close to get in that far. Alright, we're back at 1. Let's take the rangefinder off for a second. Let's turn that off. Let's see if we can get something further out. So, okay, let's go all the way out to there. Seven-time zoom. Off. 1. And what I want to try to do is turn this into a more focused beam. See what that looks like. Okay, so now at more zoom, that tree is now more in focus than it was before. Let's zoom out some. It's 6-time zoom. We're all the way out now at 1 time. So yeah, I can see how that's going to make a difference. Now I don't have, it looks a little foggy right now on the camera, but that could just be my eye. See if I can give it a little focus here. It's kind of hard to tell. Not mounted on the gun, it's a little tricky to be trying to focus this thing. Alright, let's zoom back out. Let's turn the IR. Let's flood this out again. So guys, this is pretty solid. It's similar to the other one I tested. I like that this has some additional features, it seems, but the flood in the IR illuminator is pretty darn bright. This is a pretty solid scope here. Off, that should be low. Off, should be medium, and that should be high. It's pretty solid. That illuminator is pretty solid. Even on, I don't know if you can see, when you focus that in at a distance, man, that's awesome. So when you focus that in at range, you get a lot of focus there. That's pretty slick, if you ask me. Man, guys, sorry for the jumping around here. It's just kind of hard to hold while I'm doing all the adjustments. All right, guys, really, that's it. I mean, this is gonna really wrap up this thing. I'm a fan of these things, especially for just cool factor if you want to shoot at night and you want to do all that kind of stuff. It's pretty. This here is actually first shots with this. Well, 28-ish, maybe close to 30 yards. There's two 2-liter bottles there. Filming in 4K 30 frames per second, and this is 4 times, 5 times. We're up here on 8 times right now, and it's set on first focal plane, so you'll see that the crosshair is getting bigger as I zoom in, which is preferable for me, but you can change that. 9 times, 10 times, 12 times, 13 times. That is maxed out on the digital zoom 13 times. Alright. Now, I have not sighted this thing in. However, I just took a couple test shots here at this range, and I was hitting. So, it's pretty close. I'm hitting these 2-liter bottles at 25 yards. Let's see where it's hitting now. I'm going to aim dead center. So I hit it. Can't tell exactly where I hit it. Let's zoom out a little bit more. See if I can, how well it's on. See if I can get right into that bottle cap. I hit it, but I don't know where I hit it. Let's move over to this 2-liter here. See if I can go right there in the middle. Hit it, can't see. So if we're not sighting it in, it's pretty slick. Bottle cap right there. Holy smokes, this thing, I swear to God, guys, this thing is not sighted in. Very first shots, and you can see there that I got, that is on. No bottle cap left on the top of that thing. That is pretty slick. Alright, so now we're on white, which probably wasn't the best choice, but there's also, you know, red, black, blue, and here white. Try again here. Alright guys, so that's it. I mean, that's the OneLeaf NV400. I think if you're into this sort of shooting, day-night stuff, you like recording stuff and hunting or even just plinking around, competitions, whatever it is you're doing, it's a fun item. It's a cool scope, gives you a lot of capability, a lot of different, you know, personalization to set up for you and how you want to use, you know, that scope and that rifle. A lot of versatility there, so I think it's really cool. It looks cool. The part, I mean, it just looks the part. It looks tactical. It looks like, man, this guy's a serious shooter. He's got a lot of bells and whistles on this thing. What is it? If anything else, it's a conversation piece. You know what I mean? But I just think it's cool, and if you're into that, maybe you want to get it. All right, guys, don't forget Steve MP5 on the Instagrams. I'll see you next time.